Well, I hope you're all doing fine this afternoon. I decided today, well, me and Ollie decided today we would just get out these kayaks of mine. Um, Actually, two of them's mine, two of them's my brother-in-law's that he has apparently donated because he never comes down here and uses them. But maybe after this video he will. So I just want to kind of show you what I have and what I think about the ones I've got. I bought one of these new and one of them used, and you might be surprised by the one that I choose over the other four that I have. But I'll show you some of our equipment, mine and Ollie's. Ollie don't really have any. I need to get Ollie a little life preserver, but I also need to get me a new one. When I first bought these, I bought the traditional kind, you know, that we grew up with the little buckles and all, and they kind of cover your whole. I'll show you what those are, but I really want something smaller than that, but still works well. And you know, I know there's a lot of different kinds on the market right now. It just depends on how much you want to spend. So let's check that out, and I'll go over that with you. Well, I had to put Ollie in the back of the mule here because he likes to run off because the old neighbor has a female dog, and then my father-in-law back behind us, he actually has two female dogs, and Ollie just likes to go gallivanting around and check out the ladies, and we can't be having that right now, can we, Ollie? So you stay up here, buddy, and we're gonna go out here and check on what we got out here. So basically I have just the basics right now. That's all I'm gonna have out. I'll show you a little bit of that. Won't show any really of my camera gear or anything like that, but if you got any questions on that, I'll tell you about it. All right, well, so this one here is the one I bought first, and I bought it from Academy in Dothan. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it. I've had it probably at least 2 years, and it's a sit-on top. Let me grab the chair. So this is the chair that comes with it. It's actually got pockets in the back, and it sits pretty good without a cushion. You can sit in it if you can adjust these straps. If you sit in it like you should, straight up and down, you should be able to sit in it, you know, pretty much all day. They call it the Ergo Coast XP for the seat. I think they use this in a lot of these Pelican kayaks in this price range. It wasn't a real expensive kayak. I believe I paid around $300 or $400 for it. It was on sale, which is one of the reasons I got it. And it's supposed to be fairly stable, supposed to be. And I've found out through use, which you will find out, that it's not. It is not stable. It even looks like that you could stand up in this thing. And it's got grooves in the floor. It looks like a place to stand. I've never even tried to stand in it, I don't believe. Let me see. Let me get the paddle that goes with it. Actually, this paddle didn't go with it. This is a Quest paddle on which I actually bought this. I went to Dick's and bought this because they didn't really like the selection they had over at Academy. Well, actually, I went to Dick's, and again, that's been 2 years. I don't remember what I paid. I think it was probably about 60 bucks. What I like about this one is it's metal, it's aluminum, it's not real heavy, and that's key. You want something that's light. The lighter the better. Now, I wanted aluminum because I thought at the time that would last longer. And it's been fine, it's lasted fine. I don't have any problems with it. And you know, it's just like you take it apart and adjust it however you want to adjust it. It's got the drip rings and all that. So it's been good, but typically, I bought it for this one, but typically, I don't use it that often. I'll tell you more about that later. All right, so what I want to show you is the design of the hull. Now, there's a lot of good features to it. I mean, it's got your typical stuff. It's got the rod holders, and of course this stuff, and it's gonna dry rot over time. Little slot, put your phone. It has no storage, enclosed storage. It's got all this little stuff. You can mount stuff here if you would like, but there's no enclosed storage. That's one thing I didn't care for, but again, it was on sale. It's got the plastic handles that are riveted in. I would prefer that they were molded handles, but all that stuff's more expensive, and I'm looking for the cheaper, and you get what you pay for. Now, the whole design on this, let me flip it over. Trying to do this one-handed ain't the easiest. So this right here, in my opinion, is probably the reason it's not very stable. This design, it's just not, and it's slow. And I paddle upstream quite often, and when you're trying to paddle upstream, it's pretty tough sometimes. Let me flip it back over. Okay. All right, so it's not a bad kayak, not to say that, but if you're going to go upstream, or you're going to go a long distance, and I have paddled this thing down to Choctawhatchee about 20 miles on one trip in one day, and it was 100 degrees that day, and it was hot, sun was out, we were getting baked, and I was one give out dude when we got to the takeout. So Challenger 100 XP ain't all that. Okay, now this one here is just a sit-in Pelican. It's your standard Pelican sit-in kayak. You can get these pretty much anywhere, I guess. I bought this one used from a guy in Panama City, and it says Ram X. If you look at I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says Ram X right here. And I added the rail on that side, and I just had a little bit of extra left over right here and added one there just for a camera on the back side. This thing sails through the water. I mean, it's fast. It's more stable. Now, it's a little harder to get in and out of, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And these sit-in types that I've always seen, if you look up under here, there's styrofoam up under there. And I don't know how much styrofoam there is, but I don't believe there's any. There's not any in the front, but they are your foot, you got your footrest built, attached. They're not molded, they're attached. So this thing will float if it flips over. And then the hull design, let's look at the hull design on this one. Okay, it's similar, but I believe it's wider, a little bit wider. None of these have rudders on them. Just a built-in rudder down here that that doesn't move, and kind of wide. And another problem I had with this one is this sucker here. It always wants to when you're going downstream, you're not paddling. It's like it wants to spin around and go backwards. It's just crazy. It drives me nuts. I'm like, it won't even track straight ever unless you're on smooth water. So out of these two, I would definitely go with the sit-in one over this one. And the more I go by myself, the more I take this one. The only reason I do take this one is because I have that little dog I showed you earlier, which I had to go take him inside. Mama got home and he wanted to go see her. So that's the only difference. That's the only reason, is because I bring the dog with me, and there's just more room for him to go back and forth, and he likes to get on the front of the boat sometimes up there in that little area where the cord's at. And over here, I just can't do that. I had to keep them in this little hole, and it's just not a lot of room. I've taken them like that, and it's okay, but it ain't the greatest. All right, now paddle. This paddle came with the sit-in. The guy had it, and it is it's fiberglass. Very, very light. It's a dream to paddle with. You know, often I thought that the metal ones would be better, but I usually wind up, again, taking this one, taking this and this one, and the one I bought and paid more for, leaving it here unless I've got somebody going with me. I'll typically give, you know, if somebody's borrowing my kayak, I usually let them take that one because it's easier to paddle in, unless they just want to take this one, and nobody ever does. So what I like about this one is it's adjustable, and I'm a tall guy, a little fat, but I'm tall too, and it's adjustable, so you can adjust this thing wherever you want it. And I like that. I always keep it pulled out at the farthest because it just works better for me. Got long arms. So that's on that one. That's my favorite paddle. And that is a Quest. Both of these are Quest models. This is a Quest Vapor, and that one that's aluminum is a Quest Chute, C-H-U-T-E. All right, so let's get back over here and look at this one. Now this is a Lifetime kayak. Like I said, I got it from my brother-in-law. He's had them for a while. I don't know how many years. Now they've got some dry rot. The handles need to be replaced on some of them, and the seat strap probably need to be replaced. There's two of these he had, and one of the straps is already broken, and this one broke me the other day. So I mean, they're gonna break. You know, you're out in the sun and the water, they're just gonna dry rot. But you can replace those. I actually like this kayak pretty well, better than I like this one. This one sits up out of the water a little more. It's a little bit bigger. It's not any heavier, I don't think, than this one. It might be a little bit, but I don't believe it is. And I think it's because these have the built-in. No, these had the molded-in footrest. This one doesn't, so this is added on. So that's more weight, a little bit. This one has a seat built in. You know, you can take this out. That's pretty cool. Of course, you got your straps. It's got the holes in the floor just like this, so the water can drain out, which I guess all of them have. And this one does have dry storage. I wouldn't say it's dry storage, but it's storage, and you can put a bag in here if you want to make it dry storage, you know, as dry as possible. But at least you wouldn't lose your stuff. And it'd be great to put, you know, camping gear in. And there's enough room, you know, if you wanted to, you could cut a hole back here and put another opening. But it's not perfectly flat here, so I don't know if that would work or not. But anyway, it might work on the front. Either way, most stuff you can get it down in here, you can get it inside this kayak. I don't know what the weight limit is on this one. I believe the weight limit on this one was, I'm probably pushing it. I think it's somewhere between around 300 pounds. I don't remember. It may be less than that. Probably is less than that, but that might be part of my problem because I'm pushing 220. I might just be too big for this thing. But anyway, this one runs, it cuts through the water pretty good. It does better than this one. And it tracks pretty well. I don't have a problem with it spinning around backwards. But we live back on a dirt road out here. We get people stopping from time to time out there on the road. We just kind of, we don't get a lot of traffic, so you kind of like look and see who it is. Like, what are they doing? You know, it's unusual. We don't live in town. So anyway, so like I said, I like the Lifetime. I like the Lifetime better than I like the Challenger. Both of these sit on tops. But out of all three or all four, there's two of these, I like the Pelican sit-in would be my #1 go-to. And if, in my opinion, if you're starting out and you want to do the basics, this is the way to go. You know, once you get used to getting in and out of this thing, It's so easy, and it's not heavy. It's really not heavy. I don't believe it weighs more than 40 pounds. It's very light. This one's a lot heavier because you got that extra weight on top, but all this stuff is not here. I just like it. So now, back to what I was saying. This one here is gonna be your best bet, in my opinion. And you can find these things used often, but they're not that much brand new either. So let me grab one of these other paddles over here and show you what came with this Lifetime. Now, these are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. You can get better paddles, and we've used these before. But I'll come around here to the camera. All right, so this is your basic Lifetime paddle. You know, it's you can adjust it. It doesn't have a slide. I mean, it comes apart, but it doesn't have a length adjustment. But you can adjust it like this. So if you want one paddle like that and one like that, because some people, you know, you paddle like this. So when you go down into the water, it makes more sense. You know, you may not like it like that. So both of those Lifetime green kayaks came with those paddles. So that's what comes with them. Now, again, okay, so when I bought this boat, I needed to get a preserver. And I chose the Realtree Max. Don't know what brand this actually is, but it's just your basic PFD. And I got it with this one. And then when I bought this one, the guy also had the PFD, of course, to go with it. He didn't need it, so I got it too. And they're basically the same, just different colors. They work fine if you wear them. And if you ever fall out and about lose all your stuff, and you're trying to get your paddle and your boat and everything in your boat, hopefully, I lost my phone. That's the only thing I lost. Whenever I flipped over one time on the Chattahoochee, that's all it took. And I pretty much always wear my PFD now, just to be safe. I mean, your family don't want to lose you. I mean, I'm sure your family wants you to go out and have a good time. They probably want to go with you too sometimes, but it's best policy to put that thing on, because if you flip that boat, buddy, you ain't gonna have time to grab it. You're gonna be trying to catch your paddle. You're gonna be trying to, unless you got it leashed. And I didn't have mine leashed at the time, and I still don't, which would probably be a good idea, but I just don't, I haven't done that. All right, so there was one other thing I wanted to show you. So I told you I lost my phone, and I had it in a good phone holder, but you know, all phones today are pretty much, if you've got a current phone, it's probably gonna be waterproof, but it ain't gonna be waterproof sitting on the bottom of the Chattahoochee River, and you ain't ever gonna find it unless you good, and I ain't good. So I lost mine, and it wasn't very old, you know. So I had it in this right here. And this is an excellent, it's very tight. It'll clamp your phone. It ain't gonna fall out. I think I kicked it. And this just goes right down, it just screws right down on these brackets here, and it'll hold it. So what I did, since I lost it, is I put this, it's just a little, I need to get a better one than this. It's just one I had laying around. But I need to get another one. So I'm gonna put a rope, a little strap, and I'm gonna hook it to my phone. I've already got it on my phone. Get a longer one, and I'm gonna put it in here and hook it to this. That way, if my phone does come out, at least I can pull it back up with the rope and put it back in. It should be fine. You do what you want to do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do on that, and that's what I want to do. I don't like having it in those plastic floating pouches, because if I want to take a picture, every picture I've ever taken, I don't know about y'all, but through them plastic pouches, or videos through them plastic pouches, are horrible. You can't, they're just horrible. But hey, at least you got your phone at the end of the day. But I don't use them. So I don't have a whole lot of gear, as you can tell. I mean, I've got some other stuff too, you know, just tie downs and things like that that I use to tie them down the back of the truck. I usually only go by myself, so it's usually not a big deal. You know, we don't go into camping gear. I'm not going to go into any other stuff like that because I don't do a lot of camping. I do have a couple of hammocks and a tent and, you know, all the stuff I could go camping with. I just don't really have a lot of time to do it. So I'm not going to go into that because I'm not well versed on that kind of stuff yet. Hopefully one day when I have more time on my hands that's free, I might do that. But right now this is enough for me. I hope that this video has helped you out, and if you got any questions or ideas or things you think I might need or suggestions on the PFD as well, I'd be interested in seeing them. You can leave a comment underneath the bottom of this video and I'll reply as soon as I see it. And if you enjoyed this little video and you want to see more like this, let me know and we'll see what we can do. I do look to be going on another kayak adventure pretty soon. Me and my daughter are scheduling one hopefully for the end of this week. And if everything goes right, the weather looks like it's going to be fine and dandy, and I am all happy for that because it is getting close to summertime. It's perfect temperatures right now, so me and Ollie may not get to go, but me and my daughter will, and that'll be even better. So if you enjoyed this, come back for more, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your family and your friends and anybody you want to. And we'll see you next time, but don't forget to get outdoors.